Tony here. I'm going to do a video today on how to clean a in-ground pool filter. Some folks have asked me about that, so I'm going to post on here the step-by-step process you go through to clean your filters on the Pentair system. It's a one pump, one filter in-ground pool. And kind of back out here and show you the pool. Kind of see it through here. Small 12,000 gallon pool. And then we'll get over here and give you a look at the pool equipment. Got one Pentair variable speed pump, one filter. We've got a suction, we've got a couple returns, and we've got a water feature. So let me grab some tools and we'll get started. If you like my content, please hit the subscribe and like button. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tony out. All right, so the first thing I like to do is come over to the panel. You'll see that we've got a Pentair panel here, and I want to verify that the pool's off. So the filter pump is off. I like to come over to the sub panel, kill the power. So, okay, got the power off. You'll see here, got the filter pump, got a breaker right here. Turn that to off. Bottom one's the GFI for the lights. Leave that one alone. I like to leave it open so I remember to turn it back on when I get done. Next thing you're going to want to do is on the bottom of your pool filter, you're going to see a drain. Let me get the camera in there so you can see it. There's a drain right there. You'll see it kind of dripping down. I loosened it up a little bit so I can keep the video going. First thing I like to do is get over here. You'll see you've got your pressure relief valve up top. Verify you've got everything off. There's no pressure. I open that, try to relieve some of the pressure in the filter. And the second thing you're going to do is get down here and unscrew the drain. You can use a wrench, you can use an adjustable, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can watch me if you want here. I've got to get my arm underneath. I've cranked it loose enough that I can pull it. There you go, once it comes out. You'll see the water start to drain. That's going to drain the filter. And then you'll see in the bottom of the drain all of the damn dirt that is in here. So if you see here, we're out in the desert here, Queen Creek, Arizona. You're going to see all the mud I'm going to clean out of there from all the dust storms we get out of here. So we'll clean that. It's part of this process, so set that down. And then at this point, what we're going to do now that the filter is drained is you're going to see you've got your belt clamp right here. We're going to remove this nut and loosen this belt clamp, and we're going to do that with a 7/8 socket. And I'm obviously using a electric impact to get that off. You can use a regular socket or the drill impact, whatever you want to use. And then we'll use a mallet here to kind of help get that off. So give me a minute and I'll get that done. All right, so we got the impact on there. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen it. Okay, got that loose. And go ahead and you can unscrew it with your hand, obviously. Be careful you don't lose your washers. You're going to have one washer on the inside, one washer on the outside. So once you get it all the way unscrewed, you can pull that out. A lot of threads on here, so just be patient. Okay, got that. Got that. So I'll put that aside over here. You don't want to lose it. Again, you're going to have a spring, a washer, a brass nut, and you'll have another washer right here. We're going to get to that later. Next thing you want to do is just give it a little tap on the sides here with a mallet. Rubber mallet, not a hammer. Once you do that, you'll be able to get this thing loosened up. Sometimes it's a little tight and you're going to need a little screwdriver to get it going, or you can pull it apart with your hand. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to pull it apart with my hand. I need to set the camera down. All right, I've got the nut loose here. I grabbed the little screwdriver to pry this out a little bit. And you'll see once you do that, this clamp will get ready to fall off. So you see there, just go ahead and remove the clamp. Clamp comes off in one piece. See it here? There you go, clamps off, and then you just set that aside. Don't put it on the ground, you don't want it to get wet. Once you get the clamp off, now you're now going to have this loose here, okay? So you can pull the top, right off the filters. I like to set that up top also. There you go, move that out the way. And then you'll expose all the filters here. So you'll see you've got 4 filters. This is what they call a cartridge filter setup. It's not a sand filter, it's cartridge. And you'll see in here, you got a spring on top. I like to pull that off, set that aside. And then you're actually gonna see your breather right here. It's a vent, kind of show you how dirty that thing is with all the hair. That's hair and dirt and crap from the desert out here. We're out here in Phoenix and it's 115 degrees every day with dust storms. That's what you get. Also, pets, cats, dogs, anyone in your pool, they're gonna get in, it's gonna get that dirty. Throw that out of the way. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is pull off this. I call it the spider. I'm sure somebody else in the pool world would call it something different. This holds all 4 of the filters together so they're in place. You wanna get that out of the way, set that aside. Okay, then I like to pull the cap off here. When I said the vent, this is a vent. This is where we pull all the crap off of it. You want to get that off because I'm going to clean that separately with the hose. And then at this point, what you can do is remove each of the filters. They'll just pull right out. And then you see, get a couple of these out, give you a little view down inside the filter. So you'll see the filter, you see how dirty it is. I mean, look at this. This is all hair. Okay, that's all from pets and things blowing around out here in the desert. See down there how dirty these filters are. I've seen worse, but these aren't too bad. So we'll get these all cleaned up. So if you give me a minute, I'm gonna go get my hose set up and show you how to clean these with the hose.
Clean filters from top to bottom with a hose or pressure washer.
Okay, got the basin washed out with the hose. It's all clean now. I went ahead and cleaned out the drain, and then I went ahead and hosed out the vent. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put the drain in, then the filters, and I'll show you how that assembles. All right, next thing you're going to do is slide all the filters in. You want to make sure when you're putting them in that they go into the correct groove and sit nice and flush. Okay, there's no specific order to put these in, just want to get them in there. And again, make sure they're seated correctly or your lid's not going to go on correctly. Okay, here's the 4th and last one. So now here's where we're at. We've got the drain plug in and I've got it tight. I tighten it with my adjustable. You don't want to just hand tighten it. You don't want to tighten it too much. You got a rubber seal on there. You don't want to break it. And I'll kind of go over the rubber seal maintenance too with you before I put the top on. So what I like to do at this point is I like to fill up my filter. And the reason why I do this is I don't want to do a dry start on the pump. You could burn the pump out by doing a dry start, and you also have an airlock. You'll see this step missed even by some of the pool folks, right? Make sure you put water in here, and then we'll put the top on. So give me a second to do that. Okay, you'll see here, I've got the hose in there, I've got it just about filled up, so I'm gonna cut it off, and then I'm gonna show you how to put the top on. So something that's important too is you're gonna see this rubber seal right here, okay? That rubber seal is what seals the top to the bottom. You wanna make sure that you put some Vaseline on here, or some silicone, something to keep this from dry rotting and getting hard. I put a little bit of grease on mine to keep it nice and sealed and easy to get off the next time. So the next step is to take your top, just one sec. Got to put on my screen breather, sorry. Just forgot to put that on. Went from there. Okay, so we got the top piece back on. This is what holds the filters in place. You'll see the screen. Got that push back on the PVC. Next step is to get the top on. Again, make sure you seal your gasket with some Vaseline or some lubricant and make sure it goes on nice and square. Okay, go around the sides of it, make sure it all looks the same. And then at this time I try to close my vent because I like to position the top where I know where this is going to blow right here. Okay, so for me, I like mine right there. I don't like it blowing all over my pool equipment. I blow it on the side of the house right there. And I like my gauge to be faced this way so the sun doesn't get it. So now that we've got that in place, we'll go ahead and put the band on. Okay, so at this step, I've got the band on, muscle that around. What's important I wanted to show you here is the order of how this goes. There's a small washer right here. Okay, you'll see that. And then a larger washer here. Small washer goes on the inside, then the spring, then the larger washer. The reason for that is you need your long extended nut to be able to slide through the washer. This one's too small to do that. So then when you're tightening this, you can kind of hand tighten this thing all the way down. But we're going to need the wrench, and I'll show you the sequence of how to tighten this down correctly. You don't need to wrench it all the way on there. You don't need to get it super, super tight or you have trouble getting it off, right? The goal here is to get it about where it's at with your hand. And then what you want to do is you want to take your rubber mallet and give it a couple taps, okay? Give it a couple taps all the way around on the band itself. Reason we're doing that right there is we're getting that band to seat in between the top cover and the bottom cover, and pulls it closer together, and you'll see now I can move it with my hand. I couldn't do that before. So we're going to repeat this process a few times. We're going to hit it with the mallet, and then we're going to tighten up this bolt a little bit. Now, you'll know when this is correct when all three of these springs are touching one another. They just want to barely kiss each other, okay? And then we'll know that this is tight and it's on there, and I'll show you how to do that in a couple different iterations. Okay. So you want to go ahead, get that where it's nice and tight. You'll see the threads on there now are not touching each other. You want to go ahead and give it a tap around each side of the filter, all the way around. That'll get it secured on there again. And again, if you don't have an impact on here, you don't need one. You can use it socket by hand if you don't have this available. And you know, as a beginner, I would probably recommend doing it by hand so you can get a feel of how tight you need it. So again, you'll tighten it again. I'm going to give it a whack one more time, and then we should be good. Right here, they're almost touching, so we're going to go a little bit more. Now they're just kissing each other. That's going to be it. That's all we're going to do at this point. So now you've got your top on. The next step is going to be to open our air vent. Okay, we've got everything on there now. We're going to turn the power back on the filter here. That's back on. Okay, we're going to turn the filter pump on. You'll see right here, filter pump F. Okay. Filter's on now. It's going to prime. I want to watch and make sure we're getting water in here, which we are. That's good. We're going to let this pump prime until you see water coming out of this nozzle here. And we're going to shut it down. It's primed and the pump went back down to low speed. I'm going to turn it off for the purposes of this video. And that's it. That's how you clean the filter on a single pump, single cartridge filter on the Pentair system. I'm Tony. Hit like and subscribe if you like my videos. Appreciate you.